What if I told you I found a list of Nobel Prize winners from an alternate dimension? Like people who are the best in the world at science, literature, and a range of other fields, but it was names you probably hadn't heard of. That's kind of what I stumbled upon with today's book. Now, the book is called Friends and Foes by Konstantin Simonov. And I was intrigued because I didn't know much about Simonov, but I was very intrigued when I opened it up and I saw this. Oh, the text is probably reversed. It says, "The Library of Selected Soviet Literature, Konstantin Simonov, Friends and Foes, the Stalin Prize, 1948. So the Stalin Prize, or as it was came to be known later, I believe the USSR State Prize, was like the USSR's answer to the Nobel Prize. It was the best of literature and science and a range of other fields from inside the world of the USSR, right? Because they couldn't necessarily be sharing accolades with, the Western world. And so I found that really interesting because I've always been someone who's interested in reading lists and canons, like what a society deems are the most important books. There's a lot of debate over the last 20, 25 years about which books should students read in school, the ones that reflect their daily experience or the ones that are more timeless, and written by people hundreds or thousands of years ago. And so when I find something like this that suggests like a whole nother canon from a society and a way of life completely foreign to me, it's something I find really interesting. And so like when you read it, and I don't think this is fair, I opened up to one poem and I don't think it's like a fair way to assess the quality of this poem, but I just opened it up randomly toward the end to a poem called Our Song, and this is how it starts. From sun-flooded steppes to a region of ice-coated snowbound seas, from East Russia's smoke-vested ridges to West Russia's birch groves and leas, the world's greatest power stands wearing the laurels of battle for peace, while labor's accomplishments daring its wealth and abundance increase. Right, so you can see why he may have won the Stalin Prize, which they changed the name after Stalin died to, I think, the USSR State Prize. But I would like to kind of leaf through this and see how the rest of the poems are. Maybe they're not all just, celebrating the greatness of the USSR. I'm certain they're not, because it would probably be hard to win that. But there was one author whose name escapes me now who won both the Stalin Prize or the USSR Prize and then later on won the Nobel Prize. And so I'm going to go look that up and find out who that is later. But every day I share a book that I come across like this in my work that I find interesting, that kind of sparks a question or gives me insight onto something I didn't know. If you want to see more books like this or totally different